If I didn't want to do it, if I would have that recorded, I'd be like, oh Lord.
I accept.
Yep. Welcome everybody and those who are viewing in time delay. So how about do you want to add anything, jump in and deal with I always have stuff to talk about, but
Okay,
uh
so I called everybody
uh-huh.
on the list today because I just haven't been getting any replies. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna start calling everybody.
Oh,
So
okay.
I called everybody today.
All right.
I have a lot more spots that are all full now.
Oh, that's
and-
good.
Right, because
That's
we only
good.
had just a few. So, which is really great. Only really need help with donations at this point. Like I
Oh,
mean, I
and
got
wait until Kat and I and Lindsay give our report on donations because we're doing
And here
well.
comes Marlene.
hello, Marlene. I talked to Marlene today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's why
Hey, you want to give us a hello?
It's so nice being able to talk to everybody.
Mhm.
I just had to let introduce myself and
Awesome,
just
I
ask for help. Right?
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you for taking the time for that.
Well,
Do you
oh,
want to
no,
let
well,
us know who you spoke to and what they signed up for?
Sure. Well, I mean, I didn't quite speak to everybody. So I know Colby is willing to help with whatever. She just couldn't take on a head role, but
Yeah.
I did talk to Dave Cisneros today, and him and his wife are going to go help with Amber on the volunteering coordinating part.
Perfect.
Jill Severe is going to help Crystal Clark with marketing. She knows Crystal, so that
Perfect.
works out really well there.
Yep.
Talk to Maria Gutierrez, and her daughter Jeannie are going to take over the logistics part of it, which will all be there there's a lot of participants and things that'll be
Yeah.
helping. Brian and Cecilia obviously signed up early in advance on sponsorships. Kat's doing grants, which we talked about last time. So it's just the smaller type donations that asking our local, right, just businesses, people, the legacy leadership event, then we'll be there for that. But it's just sort of the GoFundMe's, the other small donations that we can try to bring in. We'll see if we can still acquire more people. So I did reach out. So if I didn't reach them, I'm reaching out on email and asking them to go ahead and help us with that.
Perfect. Sounds good. So I would say let's have Kat and Lindsay, who are working together on the grants, kind of give a report of where things are with them, and then I'll add to that with some sponsorships that we're working on that we don't have to do a whole grant application. But why don't we have Kat lead the next part, talking about progress with grant?
Sure. Do have a couple questions for you, Paul, but we can get there. Right now, if I am correct, we currently have $16,000. That $6,000 from Cal Water was committed and received, and the Hardin Foundation has committed to $10,000. But the last update from Philip was that we hadn't received the money yet, and I don't know if that's changed.
So I do have an update for you, Kat, that I asked them to have all this stuff updated for today's meeting, and I can send it to you.
We can no longer hear you, and I'm not sure why.
Can't hear me?
Now we
Okay.
can.
I tell you, this laptop, you have to be right in front of it. So anyway, sorry about that. I was just saying that I asked Philip to update the documents for today's meeting. So in addition to the 10K from the Hardin Foundation and the 6K from Cal Water, we also received 2,000 from PG&E. And so we're at 18,000 in hand. And the money from Cal Water, not that this matters, but technically it was from last year, but we didn't receive the check until well after the event was over. So we're going to count that 6K toward this year. So that gives us 18. We also have commitments of 10,000 from Alco Water as a presenting sponsor. We have $5,000 from RHC Management. And Kat, I can share this document with you after the phone call so you can see it. And then we also have $10,000 that Chevron has submitted for. So we're not sure that the 10K will be confirmed, but I do have a confirmation email from the Alco Water from before. I just need to get a check out of them. And the 5K from RHC Management, that's a board member of the chamber. So if we do get the 10K from Chevron as well, and Chevron takes a while to get money out of them. They have a lot of money, but you got to jump through hoops and it takes a while. But if we end up getting all of those, then just those amounts we've said is $43,000, which is 78% of the budget. And we also, if we need it, we have $8,000 left over from prior years that we could also use. So I think we're in awesome shape for money, like probably the best this event's ever been in. And with Kat, for the first time, really doing the work that she's doing, reaching out, talking to potential sponsors, I feel good about the money, which is, something that we should be concerned about at this point in time. So with all that said, Kat, do you want to, have you had any interest from other folks or any grants that we fit their timelines that you're working on?
Yeah, and I do want to acknowledge, Lindsay's been like a huge help on a lot of this. So I'm really excited, and I do agree. I think that reaching out like personally to a lot of those folks was like the best route to go. I think especially just including that I had at least participated in the event once before probably helped pull on some pocket strings and heart strings as well. So yeah, that's great news about those other ones. We did submit to Walmart for $2,500 and also to the Packard Foundation for $1,000 and the Yellow Brick Road for $1,000 as well. So hopefully we will know, and those all have relatively, good timeframes, and we have the ability to follow up there. As well as I believe it was Jennifer Williams from Natividad. She mentioned that she was going to talk to the CEO about it. So I have a reminder set up. So I feel really good about all those things. And like you said, I think that we're probably in a place where we'll hit the budget. Lindsay and I met yesterday to kind of go through some additional tasks. And some of those included the questions that I do want to ask you, which my first ask was about Chevron, which I understand now. I didn't know, I had followed up twice with Loretta Paul from Home Depot. I don't know if you know her or if there's like a different contact. I haven't received any response back.
I can get that actually.
I do know her. We recognized her as our Businesswoman of the Year a couple of years ago, so I do know her. Do you know her?
Really well.
You know her well?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You bother her then.
Great.
So who is that? I'm sorry, just because I can't.
Loretta Souza from Home Depot.
No, she's
Also,
asking who is it that knows her? Because she's not sure who's talking. That's
Oh,
Amy.
sorry, this is Amy.
only two of us
Oh,
here.
okay,
in the room.
great. So Amy to follow up. No, I just wasn't sure if it was maybe Lindsay on the line too. So
Oh yeah,
that's
sorry. Also, I have one other 5K ask that's out with Brian Higgins with his employer. He's going to try to wrangle 5K out of him as well. So if you bring in all the big dollars, you don't have to worry so much about the little ones. So
Right.
Yeah. Who's Brian Higgins, or can I just reference it that way?
yeah, you can reference it, Brian Higgins. So he's a past president of the Salinas JCs. He was the year after me, and he's volunteered like many years for this event, and he's good at getting money out of people.
Okay, great.
Do you want to? Do you
She has
want
additional
to?
questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was also going to ask you, I reached out to Rebecca from Costco. I don't know if you have another contact there. I haven't heard back from her either.
Yeah, the person I know at Costco is Gabe Tong, who's the general manager of the Costco in Salinas. I don't know Rebecca.
I'll go ahead and look for Gabe's email now and put it in the chat.
Okay. Lindsay to provide Gabe's email. Okay, I can reach out to him. And then I know Lindsay mentioned she was going to talk to you about Rotary, Paul. So have you?
Yes, I told her no.
talked?
But Amy could go after Rotary if she wants, because we're both in the same Rotary club.
I will.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. So I told
Yeah,
them that
Paul
we
and
would
I
do.
spoke after you and I, so I didn't have the chance.
I told them that we would do the Legacy of Leadership and see how much money we could get out of that. I'm not expecting a lot from that. Like we got 8,000 before, but let's say 3,000 would. But we'll see what ends up happening. But it's just a little dicier. But I'm gonna set a goal of like 3,000 for that.
Sounds good. And we'll try to get it, right? Whatever we can get, we're gonna ask for.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to Rotary. I mean, we're in the same Rotary, but I'll ask.
Yep.
You are awesome.
I just said no because I have too many things going on, and then I always ask for money for the chamber for different things too, so I just have to be mindful of all that. Good. Kat, did you have other questions for me slash us?
The only other one is whether or not you got the budget, Lindsay, for Yellow Brick Road, because that one.
Yes, I
too,
got everything from Philip and I forwarded it to you probably like 1 this afternoon.
Yeah, I
Thank
think you saw what I got for, or what I need for, that was like the subject of the email, I think.
Want to mention
Well, I know
the
Philip
fundraising
sent you
idea
something that
we
was
just
like
talked
a
about?
couple years
Did you want to
old,
talk to me about it, or do you-
Chevron application from 2019 or
Told me
something.
you had an
What I forwarded you today should be used because it's up to date financials. So if any of the grants you're now applying for, ask for
idea.
budgets.
Do you want to share it with them or just me?
Use what I sent you today.
Okay, I guess I just want to confirm, do you want me to upload that to Yellow Brick Road, or are you?
Oh,
planning
no,
on
I
doing
completed
That's
that.
what-
That
oh,
is, yeah, that's
Oh,
been
you did,
submitted.
okay. Okay, yeah, so that's great for me to have those documents. And then the only other thing that I was gonna tell you guys is that I'm gonna start kind of creating just an additional, in addition to the tracker that we had, which I think everybody on this call has now been access to. I'm just creating a separate kind of Google Doc that's just like information. So it'll be just kind of like, you know, the blurb that we might use or some of the language that we might use, just so that way it's all in one place and we won't have to recreate it as this event continues to thrive. So, I mean, obviously we want to modify it and update it with some things, but in terms of like, for instance, like the email that I sent out, you know, last year trying to get the donations, like, I think it's best to just have that. So like next year when this rolls around, you know, we'll be ready, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kat, I think that's a great point. And if you like, we also could just have a Google folder. And right now we have a folder on the Chambers Network. Did we create a Google folder for this event?
You asked. That's it.
Right, but it might be nice for us just to
Yeah,
have a
right.
Google Drive folder
Yeah.
and just then people can add stuff there.
That would be-
And then at the
Yeah.
Yeah, I
very,
think that's-
very end, I'll take all of them and put them on the network so that people who are in charge next year can access them.
Well, if they're in a Google Drive folder, then that's where they will be. We don't need to have them in 2 places. But what we need to do is just maybe take some of the stuff we currently have and put it on Drive.
It's just if none of us worked at the chamber next year, nobody would know to look for some random Google Drive folder. They would look on the drive where all the stuff for our foundation should be kept.
That's okay. We could figure that out because all you have to do is save the link to the drive with some of the chamber positions. So we can handle that. That might be,
Okay.
yeah. It might be
Yeah,
nice
and I'll
to
share
have,
it with you guys and you can do whatever you want with it whenever you want with
Yep, sounds good.
it.
We might have a
Okay.
volunteer later help coordinate that, just looking through the documents and stuff.
Okay,
Cool.
and that's all that I had.
All right, I just want to say, Kat, you've done the best job already of anybody who's done the grants before, because when we've asked for it in the past, it's usually like you hear excuses of you know, oh, I didn't get to that or whatever. So I'm delighted to have a professional person just really hammer that out. So thank you for that.
Totally.
I'll give a quick
Oh, you're
update
very
on a
welcome.
whole bunch of other things that are going on. And I had shared this with you once upon a time, I think, but this is kind of a task list of things that we do for the event. So I'll just hit through this so you kind of see where we are logistically with things.
Okay.
And then, yeah, as we get closer to the event, then we need to manage the details a bit better. But where we are now is we're in fundraising mode and doing well. There's also a few things that we have to do well ahead of the event, and we're also doing well with those. So some of it is the marketing from the chamber. So we put an ad in the chamber about this event once already. The next Business Journal will also have something in there. Lindsay, I had to make it a quarter page instead of a half page because we didn't have enough. There were so many ads in the Business Journal this time.
There were.
But so we also have the GoFundMe set up. And let me
I'll
check.
go ahead and put the links in the chats for those things. The GoFundMe has not received any donations yet.
Well, we also have not been pushing it a lot yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is all stuff for the people who let me see where we go here. Chamber of
We also have a
Commerce.
Facebook page, and I do believe it's a public page, meaning I don't think people need to be an administrator on it to post. Like, I think the wall is open. Not sure if that's the proper terminology.
Well,
but
so now that we have Crystal and Jill on that, and they both have been involved with the event for a long time, so they can help with that. We do have the GoFundMe donation link is on the website live.
and I just put those in the chat.
All right. Okay. So
Unfortunately, I'm
there's
not able to see it, Lindsay, so I'm sorry if you could share
Yeah.
it with me maybe later. I'm sorry,
It
just
says
because I'm by
me to
phone.
Everyone, do you see the chat?
she's
You
on
know.
the phone. She's on the phone.
Oh, got
No,
it. Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
No,
all
no,
right.
you're totally fine.
Okay, so one of the things that we need to do, and I may have chamber staff do this, is put the links on the website for volunteers to be able to sign up for stuff, because we manage the volunteers through our website before. If people were interested, they would fill out, I mean, they could do that on a Google form as well or whatnot. But Lindsay, I'll have a discussion with Philip about that, and we'll figure out best way to do that. Yeah, but right now we haven't really done a lot, and it's easier if she's able to just say, oh, go to the website and you can click and you can pick which job you want and which shift. That's how we did it a couple years ago. So we'll get that one done again. Let's see. We have not done a lot of soliciting companies to donate in different ways, like Children's Miracle Network type stuff like that. I think we're in good shape right now with that. So we're securing sponsors. I think having Brian and Cecilia help with that is helpful. And Brian's super simple. You know Brian Higgins personally? Like, he doesn't require a lot of stuff. Like, some people would say, oh, give me a document that lists all the benefits and the this and the that. Well, there's not really any benefits. We'll do a thank you ad afterward to say thank you for donating money, but he doesn't need all that stuff. So, but it would be nice if we like create things like that in the for the future, or, you know, if a volunteer wants to work on things like that. Okay, so let's see. Where we were from last meeting was identifying Kat to help with the grants, and then identifying the chairs of the committees. And so Amy's done a good job with that. So thank you for that. Request certificate of insurance from Northridge. So I talked to the manager of Northridge Mall, and they're supposed to send the paperwork to us that we have to fill out, and the chamber will handle that. So we started talking about it the week before last, and she was supposed to send it to me last week. She has not done that yet, but I'm sure she will. Let's see. Requesting, then a bunch of the other stuff is like for a month before, where we confirm food and water and snack donations for the kids. Like if we reach out to, you know, Carl's Jr. and others, and Crystal helped with some of that stuff before as well, even though she's doing marketing this time. So we can talk about having volunteers help with that. We're still in September, so we have October, November, and then 2 weeks into December. So we're 2.5 months out from the event. So we're still good on that stuff, but we basically say, hey, could you donate all these breakfast burritos? And then when the kids show up in the morning, we have stuff like that for them. Requesting the store discounts, we have that listed for a month before, where we just have a volunteer go and we can give them what we did before, and they just walk by and say, hey, we worked with these managers before. Here's what we did. Can you guys honor this discount from before? And then we update the flyer and print those out for the day of. So we have that listed as a month before the event. We need to order the wristbands that are in triplicate, and they're a special kind. So I'll talk with my staff about that, because that costs money, and there's a specific type that we get that has the same numbers in 3 different colors, and they're Tyvek, so that they don't come off. So I'll work with my staff on that one. And then that leads us kind of up to the event where we have check-in tables and stanchions and all this stuff like this. So there's a bit more detail that I don't think that we really need to go into the detail as we get closer to the event. I do know that there's going to be more questions. Oh, there's one other thing, and that is just that I did talk to the housing authority, and they've agreed to help identify the children that will work with this year as well. So I feel like we're in good shape. It will help to have a few of the people who've been involved a lot of times before to be there because they know how the check-in process goes for the kids and stuff like that. But basically I feel like we're in pretty good shape. I think like getting Crystal and Jill going with some of the marketing stuff and Facebook page and things like that, that will help in getting people to be able to volunteer as well and raise money. Hi there.
How are you? Great.
Thanks.
Maria Gutierrez. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
They're great. We're almost done with the meeting.
No.
We're happy to have you here, but Lindsay, is there anything else that you can think of that?
I
we
would
haven't
just love to
discussed?
know who is signed up for what and what positions are still open if Marlene or the other ladies attending want to sign up for something.
So the ladies that are here already did sign up for logistics. So we discussed that today and but Marlene can definitely help out with some of that and some donations, just, even the smaller donations would be really great. So if we,
Yeah, that's fine. I requested access for the committee room.
and you
I
did,
don't know if you got that email.
let me work on that and I'll make sure you have
Cool.
that.
Do we currently have any positions still vacant?
Yes, donations. For the
So that
smaller
one's just help
donations.
run our fundraising, social media, all of that stuff.
The
Although-
good news is marketing and those smaller donations go hand in hand.
Yeah, I was
Totally.
gonna say that.
Need to have a Google, have everything in Google so that
Yep.
everybody can access instead of coming like I had stuff, you have stuff. I think if we just have a central location,
Yep.
I'll work on that because I think it's easier.
It's easy for us to do that. I could also have staff do it. The only thing is some of the documents that we have need to be updated for the current year
Okay.
because some of the processes will be different, like how we select the children or whatever.
Okay.
It's just been a couple of years, so it would probably be good to
Okay.
review those details, all of the volunteer roles that I sent to Amber. It would probably be good to revisit those. And then
want-
also this task lists of who's doing what. I mean, I've gone over it at a high level right now, but as we get into subsequent meetings, just making sure, okay, who's handling this, that, and the other thing.
Okay.
But right now, I feel like we've worked on all the things that are important to work on so far at this point. And we're doing great. We talked about money in the beginning and we've gotten some good money coming in, and we've got Kat is on the phone. She's helped with outreach to different organizations. So without money, we can't do anything. And I think so far we're doing pretty well with the money. So,
And what about taking the money to purchase gift cards?
oh yeah, hold on a second. Question?
Basically, we're gonna be coordinating to try to get the locations at the Northridge Mall to see if they're gonna be open for the
Right.
shoppers.
It's just like operations of the event. So that was like that one list.
Right.
It was just like what they had done. And you said that's about 1 month before the event?
I'd say that's relatively easy to do because you take the flyer from last time and just go to the mall and go to those stores. Most of the stores in the mall are not relevant for children clothing. It's kind of the same ones, but there's some on there, like I think the Payless Shoe Source no longer exists. Sears no longer exists?
Wow.
Yeah, that's been, it's been a year now, I think.
Crazy.
You can tell how often I go shopping at Sears.
DSW for shoes. That's a good one for shoes. Sale rack.
I sent you like a whole bunch of stuff, but it's like, who's gonna start working with, which I know like a lot of the volunteers are gonna be coming in. They have a program and they'll all be there. And it's sort of just working together at the day of the event to make sure that things are running smooth. I'm assuming, I've never gone, so this is
Yeah.
my first time.
Yeah, all you have to do is take the flyer from before and go talk to those people. And they may say, oh, so-and-so, the manager's not here right now. You need to call this person, but
Yeah.
here's who it is. And there might be some managers that we've worked with before. Oh, great, I'm glad you guys are bringing it back. But as we get closer, we have to figure out some of the logistics of what time we're gonna start, because sometimes they open up earlier so that they can attend to our people, without having big lines and stuff like that. But they might have to adjust their schedules to have their workers come in earlier. So for that, it's better to go a little bit earlier. But I have it listed like a month before. I don't think they do their scheduling more than a month beforehand. But
Who has a flyer from last year?
For snacks and. food
yeah,
and
yeah,
things like
good.
that.
We have those too. Thanks,
So,
Marlene.
closer to the event, we can get some stuff donated and-
Yeah, other things that are related to logistics are in that room right there, and I could show them to you when we're done here, but we have these things called stanchions. And it's for setting up the lines for the kids to go through. So we have to make sure that we have a volunteer put those things together, and then we have like a little map on how you set them up and you put the rope through them. And
Yeah.
so there's little things like that as well. So
We,
December 11th. It's not a target date. It's a set in stone date.
Then-
Yeah, we'll do it on the second Saturday of December.
do you want to
Lindsay?
touch base on purchasing the gift cards?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Amy.
Oh.
I'm sure this part of that
Um,
show.
So yeah, I contacted American Express and told them what we're doing. I have used them in business for a long time, so they said, absolutely, we will go ahead and provide you with whatever you need. And there's no activation fee. So I let them know I'm gonna need about 400, and they said, that's fine. It's about a 10-day turnaround, so real simple, and we got that all taken care of. So that's, yeah, should be pretty
That's
simple.
huge. Woo.
Yeah, people who haven't felt that pain don't know what a big deal that was. Like, you make a phone call and it's simple, but it's never simple. So thanks for handling that.
Yeah.
So I think all we need to do probably is between now and the next meeting is keep doing what we're doing. You've got some good people there in marketing, and there's going to be little questions that'll come up if they need passwords or access to like a Facebook page or different things like that. But the Crystal and Jill know what they're doing
Okay.
already, and so I feel like we should just kind of revisit this and make sure that you're comfortable with what these things are, so
Okay.
that you can kind of help oversee all the volunteers. But so far, I feel like we're going in a good direction. We've got some of you all helping, so thank you for that. And then we've got the money coming in, and more money promised that should be coming. And we started well enough early that we can be not we don't have to go all crazy with the meetings and stuff like that. So, and thank you, Amber, for helping coordinate the volunteers. Amber's not on the phone yet, but she's watching the recording. So we'll work with Amber to make sure that we get stuff up on our website to make it easy for people to register for different jobs. And then as we get a little bit closer, then it'll be about getting volunteers to come out and help the day of to take kids out shopping. So.
And Marlene did mention in the comments here, she doesn't mind being kind of that point person for those smaller donations.
Okay, great. Thanks, Marlene. All right, I know that's a quick meeting, but if we don't have more stuff to talk about, we could.
The only
Yep.
thing is, when do we want to meet next?
I'm sorry, I can't hear
We
anybody.
can't hear you.
I said probably going a month out into later October is probably fine.
How about the 19th in 3 weeks?
I will be out until the 26th. So, I mean, I don't have to be there, but I'm kind of one with the best historical knowledge, which would put, if we wanted me to be there, I would say the 27th.
Yeah, because we have a ribbon cutting on the 26th. I think we're still.
I'd say let's do the 27th or the 28th, which is Wednesday or Thursday.
We have a ribbon cutting Thursday, the 28th at 5.
All right, Wednesday, the 27th it is. So Amy will send out an update. We'll do it at 5:30 again. Does that time work? All right. So, Lindsay, you want to do me a quick favor and just create the Zoom and send the link over to Amy? If you don't mind, or,
Oh,
or,
sure,
I-
because it needs to be on our Zoom.
yeah,
Okay.
so you'll send that out and, good. Hey, you're fine. You get stuff done. That's all that matters. You, Kat, Lindsay, all y'all. All right, so I think that will,
And our